Alright guys, ooh, look at that. Alright, fresh, huh? Alright guys, so we are getting ready to start the flooring. And we've got all our flooring here. It finally came in. Took like a month. We went with this hand scraped engineered bamboo flooring. All our material here. And over here everything looks good. All the flooring over here on this end looks good. But this back room was built separately and it's had some cracks and some settling and stuff. So today we're gonna grind these cracks, these little edges that are sticking out. We're gonna grind them and then we're gonna fill them and we're gonna level this room a bit and get it ready for the flooring. So we got our grinder here with a diamond grinding bit, blade, face mask, and our vacuum, which we're gonna run while we grind. And also for this, you want jeans, boots, and don't forget your safeties. So we're gonna go ahead and get this grinded down. All right, so we grinded down all these rough edges, like right here, where it was lifted up from settling and stuff. We had a couple areas back here, and then we had an area over here at the door. And then we vacuumed, we swept, and now we're gonna patch all these cracks. We use this 4.5 inch diamond wheel that goes on the grinder. We're gonna patch all the cracks before we float the floor. All right, so we are using this stuff called from Latta Creek called NXT patch. It's supposed to be fast drying, so it's supposed to dry in about 40 minutes. I can already start working on it. And we're gonna fill the cracks, patch them, and then after that, we got a couple little low areas like back here where we're gonna do some self-leveling, level, quick set, whatever, I don't know, the self-leveling stuff. But we're gonna do that. We're gonna leave that all overnight and let it dry, and hopefully tomorrow morning, this will be ready to come in and finally get some flooring in here. The rest of the house doesn't need much. The rest of the house looks pretty good. The floors are level, don't have any cracks and stuff like that on the other end of the house, just this. But let's go ahead and get into it. We got our drill to mix, bucket. I'm using a old drywall spatula just to fill the cracks, and then we'll grab water from outside.
Right into the top, started from the floor. How we got up here, you don't need to know. Sniffing on an M, I need one of those. Sniffing on an M like I got a cold. Need to know, nah, you don't need to know. Need to know, nah, you don't need to know. How we got up here, you don't need to know. Hear me, but I keep you on a need to know. Came up from the bottom, started from the floor. Working to the 10, and the 10 is 10. Bags under my eyes, on my money, always knew the plan, I know dummy knows. Always been myself, never had to fake. Had to cut off friends, had to lose a weight. Took a couple L's, charged it to the game. Since I switched my lane, never been the same. Right into the top, started from the floor. How we got up here, you don't need to know. Sniffing on an M, I need one of those. Sniffing on an M like I got a cold. Need to know, nah, you don't need to know. Need to know, nah, you don't need to know. How we got up here, you don't need to know. Hit me, but I keep you on a need to know. 95, down on 95. Up, sit down in Charlotte just to see the guys. But I flex and I never lie. Peep the comments, but I let them slide. Dealt with the pain, whole lot of. I beat the game, no problem. I gotta make it for you, your rest in peace, big shocker. Right into the top, started from the floor. How we got up here, you don't need to know. Sniffing on a him, I need one of those. Sniffing on a him, like I got a cold. Right into the top, started from the floor. How we got up here, you don't need to know. Sniffing on a M, I need one of those. Sniffing on a M, like I got a cold. Need to know, nah, you don't need to know. Need to know, nah, you don't need to know. How we
All right, everybody. So that was one bag, 25 pounds. It was a little thick with just a 3.5 quarts of water. I mixed 4.5 approximately. I just like it a little bit more watery so you can kind of feather out the edges. And so the first one is kind of just to fill the cracks. We had some pretty big cracks, so we wanted to make sure we got some material in there, filled them. And so we got this done, all this done with one bag. I believe it was $19.98, so 20 bucks. And it's already starting to dry. It's already been like 20 minutes only. You can see it starting to dry. And then I'm waiting on my drill to charge because it always dies when you need to mix stuff. And then I just have this area right here to patch. Right, and then after that, we will let it dry, and then the next thing will be the level coat. So that's going to be really watery, and that's supposed to be a self-leveling. So I think I'm going to go pick up a wired drill so that I don't have to worry about the battery dying, because I'm going to have to mix quite a bit of bags. And the main areas are going to be over here where it's not level. The entrance little part right there that we're going to need to level is this big area, and then kind of this back area is where it's a little bit off. So that's what we're going to try to fix so that we can get started with the flooring, guys. I'm so ready to be done. We bought the house. Alright, so we bought the house in April. When we bought it, we were in the middle of a flip, so we were finishing that flip, and then we had our vacation already planned. So we didn't end up finishing the flip till like, I believe it was June by the time we sold it. And then right after that, we started fixing our house, our old house, you know, doing a little punch list to get that one sold. And we sold that in July and moved out. And so this house sat for like 6 months almost before we actually started working on it. But it, you know, it feels like forever because I had it sitting here for a few months. But I'm so ready to move. We're with our in-laws right now, which is great because we get along. I love them, but we're in one garage room in their garage that we had converted to a room before. All right, yeah, so this is gonna be our room because, drum roll please, we have baby on the way. So we're gonna put a bed over here, some chairs over there in the windows, and then like another little sitting area here with the baby stuff. So the baby can be in her own bed, but in the same room. All right guys, so once I got my drill charged, I went ahead and patched up the big crack that was right here at the doorway at the entrance of the room. Same thing, we used the mix, the patch mix, mixed it, and then just troweled it first by hand. And then after, I went ahead and used a drywall knockdown squeegee that I had in my box. Just because this was a bigger area and I wanted to get it smoother, I went ahead and tried that, and it worked out pretty well. It wasn't necessarily, it's not meant for this, but you'll see here up ahead how it smooths out a larger area right here. And I was a little bit happier with this finished look. Alright, so we got the whole room filled with the patch repair. I used 1.5 bag for all this, and I used a knockdown squeegee right here because this was so big, and I had it right there, and I did a pretty good job of leveling this. Right now we just gotta let this dry. It's already been about 45 minutes and it's already almost dry over here on the back end. So I'm gonna grab a spatula right here and scrape a little for any of the little uneven surfaces that we have while it's still kind of moist, so it's not hard. I don't have to grind again. The deal with this is you want to get it when it's starting to harden, but it's not hard yet, and you're always gonna have these little imperfections and stuff. So we're trying to get all those little bumps and stuff out. right, so we went around the whole room and just scraped up any of the little lines from the spatula or any little bubbles that had popped up. And then we started mixing the self leveler. This is the My Pay self leveler. We picked this up at Floor and Decor, and you just mix it with water according to their directions, and then it levels out itself. I was helping it out a little bit right there, just to make sure it got all the way in the corners. But then once it starts drying, it just levels out by itself. You can kind of see in the corner over here on the right where it's just creeping to the right, where there's a low spot by itself. I did use the squeegee to kind of, just make sure I got it evenly across, and then let it sit there and level itself out further.
Don't you run away. Mathematics act like a nerd. I'll be counting 30 by the third. Drop top doors go vert. SRT go skirt. Lately like a business, yeah. I handle the business, then I get love in Europe even. Ball so hard I used to play. I'm never giving up. You roll like a semi-truck. Say what I'm saying, yeah, you're a parent, Yankee on my head, I guess that I think that I'm Derek, Love on the celly gon' ring. I'm putting on my team. Money come flowing, no sink. Spring, 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 spring. Double cup, come my drink. Love my little baby, no leak. I be counting money, no sheep. I can do it up in my sleep. Love on the celly gon' ring.
I floated that. I repaired the floor. I patched it. Then I leveled the areas that were not level. Alright guys, and so this is just me later when I was installing. I didn't get very good video once I was done. I just let it dry and left it there. So you can kind of see here where everything's drying and curing. We were able to take the cracks from about 1/2 inch gaps, a little bit less, and fill them. And then we also had a few pieces that were kind of sticking up about 1/4 of an inch, and we were able to get them down level, and everything was good to go for the flooring. We've already installed the flooring, and that video is coming soon. So thanks again for watching, guys, and click that like, that subscribe down below if you want to see more videos, and we'll see you guys again next week.